E-scooters have been legal in Germany since 2019. And in 2026, there are many rules. Even though e-scooters look simple, they are legally treated as motor vehicles in Germany. This means that specific violations lead to specific fines. First of all, what you need to know about the rules in 2026 in Germany about e-scooters is that every e-scooter must have an insurance and a valid insurance sticker, the so-called insurance plate or plaquette. So if you ride an e-scooter without any insurance, this is a criminal offense. It's not just a fine. It can even lead to a criminal charge, a high monetary penalty, or even prison in serious cases. So if the scooter is insured, but the insurance sticker is missing or expired, the fine is 40 euros. An e-scooter must also have an official operating permit called ABE. Riding an e-scooter without an ABE leads to a fine of 70 euros. If the ABE existed but has expired, the fine is 30 euros. Technical equipment is mandatory. So in case if the bell is missing or not working, the fine is 15 euros. If the lights are missing or defective, the fine is 20 euros. If the scooter does not meet safety requirements, the fine is 25 euros. Where you ride matters a lot. So riding an e-scooter on a non-permitted area, so for example on the sidewalk, costs you 15 euros. If you block other road users, then the fine increases to 20 euros. If you endanger others, then it becomes 25 euros. If there's property damage, the fine is 30 euros. Only one person is allowed on an e-scooter. Riding with two people costs you 10 euros. Riding side by side with another e-scooter also costs 15 euros and more if others are blocked or endangered. Riding hands-free, pulling a trailer or holding onto another vehicle costs 10 euros. What you also need to know is that traffic lights apply fully to e-scooters. So if you ride through a red light, the total cost is 88 euro and 50 cents, including fees, and you receive 1 point in Flensburg. If you endanger others, it increases to 128 euro 50 and 1 point. If there is property damage, it is 148 euro 50 cents and 1 point. And if the light was red for more than 1 second, fines start at 128 euro 50 and go up to 200 euro 50, always with 1 point. Besides, also, alcohol is one of the most serious topics. So from 0.5 promille, riding an e-scooter leads to a fine of 528 euro 50, 2 points in Flensburg, and a 1 month driving ban. If this happens a second time, then the fine is 1,053 euro and 50 and a 3 month driving ban. And if you do it a third time, then this costs you 1,578 euro 50 and a 3 month driving ban. And from 0.3 promille, you can already be punished if you show signs of impairment, if you endanger others, or you cause an accident. And in this case, it becomes a criminal offense and can lead to a fine or prison. And you also lose your driving license. You can lose your driving license. And from 1.1 promille, riding an e-scooter is always a criminal offense, so with possible prison time and license withdrawal. What you also need to know, in case you're below 21 or you're in your probation period, then the rules are even stricter. Then there is a zero alcohol rule. So any alcohol then leads to a fine of 278 euro 50, 1 point and additional probation measures. From 0.5 promille, the full penalties apply, including driving bans. What you also should know is that parking is enforced. So e-scooters may be parked on sidewalks and pedestrian zones only if they do not block or endanger others. So blocking entrances, paths, or crossings can lead to fines, depending on the situation. So in case you want to know more, feel free to drop me a message or send me a message directly on my Instagram channel. See you in the next video.